going to start with the explanation of the lesson, that is The Enemy, from the book Vistas, and it is written by Pearl S. Buck. As I was saying, like this is a beautiful chapter, and I love teaching this lesson, And I believe that Rohit Shetty, like directors, they can make beautiful movies, fantastic, super duper hit movies also on these two chapters. One is The Enemy, and there's one more lesson also, Ivan's Tries an O Level. That is also a fantastic chapter. So means like again and again we are not sure like what is going to happen in the next scene. So there is something, curiosity is always maintained by the writers. That is why it makes this lesson very interesting. Fine. So let us start with the explanation part. First, very important fact that you must remember about this lesson is that this lesson is set up after the Second World War, right? As you all know, like in Second World War, what happened? Like you must remember also, like in 1945, on 6th August 1945, when the World War II was going on, at that time, America dropped bombs, atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, which are the parts of Japan. And because of that, what happened? Japan surrendered. And the war was over, because like after that, Japan could not do anything also, and the war was over immediately after that. And because of that, now the lesson is based on the points which I'm going to tell you. So I want your focus. See, because of this, obviously, like when one country is, trying to destroy the infrastructure, the mankind and each and everything, then in that condition, obviously, that will develop enmity in the minds of the people, obviously. So like when America dropped the bombs, Japanese, they developed enmity against America. For example, like as you all know, like India and Pakistan, we also are enemies, like whenever the cricket match is there on television, we just pray, we wish that India should win, and we do not want Pakistan should ever defeat our country, that is India, right? So there is a great enmity between India and Pakistan, and still also the war is going on. We tried to explain them the things that they should settle down, they should be at peace, but no, they are not learning the lesson, right? So the same thing happened between Japan and America also. Japanese people, they had enmity against American. So this is a beautiful chapter. Whatever I'm telling you, this is the setting. I always tell you the setting of the lesson, like why this lesson is given this title. So this is the reason, the enemy, this reason is given, the title is given here. Why so? Because India and Japan and America, they were enemies to each other. And Japanese people, they hated Americans because America destroyed Japan. But still we can see Japanese people are so hardworking. They once again stood up on their feet. They, settled their city also. Now the enemy, one thing you must remember, like during the time of the war, there are many, soldiers, they are killed. Fine. They are killed, they are during the war. And one more thing also, like if some of the soldiers, they are caught by the another country, then they are treated as slaves also, right? And some of them, they are kept in the prisons also for n number of years, and they are tortured inside the prison. For example, you have seen the movie Sarabjit, our Indian person who was in the lockup of Pakistan, and he was ill treated. The family members, they tried to bring him back to our country, but it did not happen, and he was, badly treated. And Abhinandan, he was also like by mistake, he landed in Pakistan, but because of our government has to be strong, and because of that, what happened? We were able to retrieve him back safely. So here there is a soldier, fine, and he was trying to run away, and he landed into this place, that is Japan. And what happened? What kind of treatment was given to this American prisoner? That is what we are going to study in this lesson. So now I am starting with the explanation of this lesson. It is the time of World War. An American prisoner of war is washed ashore in a dying state and is found at the doorstep of a Japanese doctor. Should he save him as a doctor or hand him over to the army as a patriot? Now, as I told you everything, it is the time of the World War. Now there is an American prisoner. So he tried to run away from the prison. And what happened? When he was trying to run away, so from behind he was shot by a bullet, right? And that bullet hit him on his buttocks, the back part, and he was struggling with that. He was after that, when he was trying to save himself, so he jumped into the sea also in order to save himself, in order to run away from the people, those who were trying to catch him. And when he was in sea, he tried to swim. He was struggling with water, with the waves, with islands also, with animals also, struggling with all the problems. He landed to the shore of Japan, and that is in front of the house of Dr. Sadahoki. Dr. Sadahoki is a Japanese doctor. So now the main character in this lesson, now we are going to understand the characters and the relation. The first very important character, or you can say the protagonist of this story, the hero of this lesson, is Dr. Sadahoki. Now, as you all know, you must have heard also, like when a doctor starts his profession, like after completion of his degree, then he is supposed to take an oath, fine. And in that oath, he's supposed to speak that he will treat every patient, whether the patient is rich or poor, whether the person is of upper caste, lower caste, or the person is the friend or the enemy. He is not at all supposed to have any kind of discrimination among the human beings. He had to concern about the person, and concern that the person is a patient only, not rich, not poor. And that is the oath he had to take. So like Dr. Sadahoki, he had also taken this oath. And this is the prisoner. He was from America. So like, what is to be done? What decision is to be taken so that he should not be turned as a like against the country? He is doing something against the country, because if he'll be treating an American prisoner, then the people of his country, that Japanese, will consider that he is not a patriot. He is not concerned about his country's reputation, right? And so now the story. Dr. Sadahoki's house was built on a spot of the Japanese coast, where as a little boy he had often played. The low square stone house was set upon rocks, well above a narrow beach that was outlined with bent pines. Now, what is the location of Dr. Sadahoki's house? Dr. Sadahoki's house was in front of the seashore, right? And see, like as you know, like in Japan, many a times so many cyclones keep coming, right? So because of that, the houses are built, the stands are there, like the four pillars are there of stones, of rocks, and above that the house is constructed, so that if the waves may strike, if the water may grow furious, then that must not affect the house. So that is why it is made on a stand, fine. It is a little bit higher also. Now, when Dr. Sadahoki, he was a small child, he used to play at the seashore. He used to enjoy over there. And as a boy, Sadao had climbed the pine tree, you all know, that are found near the beaches. So he had tried to climb the pine tree when he was a small child, supporting himself on his bare feet, as he had seen men do in South Seas when they climbed for the coconuts. Now you may have seen many videos also, like for example, South Indian, if I'm talking about the South Indians only, fine. So South Indians, what they do in order to, catch these coconuts, what they do with bare feet, they climb on these trees, and they bring back the coconuts. So like Dr. Sadao, when he was a child, he had also seen the people also, they are taking the coconuts. So in the same manner, he had also learned this technique of climbing the trees and learning, we can learn the things by observing the things very minutely. So he was also a very strong learner. His father had often taken him to the islands of those seas, and never had he failed to say to the little brave boy at his side. Now, one very important fact that you must understand, obviously, every father is concerned about the well-being of his child. In the same manner, Dr. Sadau's father was also very much concerned about him. So his father used to take him to the islands also that were there in the sea. And see, when he used to take him, he always suggested, he always advised to his son, that is, those islands yonder, they are the stepping stones to the future for Japan. Now, yonder means there. Those islands yonder means the islands that you can see there, they are the stepping stones to the future for Japan. Means, like, by climbing on these islands, one can, or our country, Japan, can achieve a success. And because these islands can be used for the business purposes, by crossing these islands, we can move to different countries, and we will also be able to have good contact with other countries also, and will be able to develop business also, bring business to our country. So that is why these are the stepping stones for the future of Japan. Where shall we step from them? And Sadao had asked seriously. Sadao was a small child. So he said that fine, we'll be going through on these islands. But from these islands, where will step? Where will we go? Who knows? His father had answered. Who can limit our future? It depends on what we make it. A beautiful lesson that is taught by the father. When he asked that from these islands, where we can step, then the father said that we don't know. Like, for example, it depends on a person, like what he wants to make of his future. Like, it is not at all, for example, many people say, no, like, it is destined, it is in your destiny that you would do only this, not that. No, it is not like that. It depends on each and every person. If he has decided to do, he has his set ambition, then nothing can stop him, nothing can break him also. If and for that, obviously, it's not easy thing to speak. It's very easy to speak, but when the person is doing, that requires a hard work, patience, perseverance. So the father said, nobody can limit. Who can limit our future? Nobody can limit the future of Japan. If Japanese people, they had to work hard, if they'll be obviously doing everything for the betterment of their country, for themselves, then definitely nobody can stop them, nobody can limit their future. Sadao had taken this into his mind. Now, what Sadao had taken into his mind? Sadao had decided that nobody can stop them and nobody can make their future. It is the person himself who is responsible for his or her future and his success. So now he had taken this into his mind, as he did everything his father said. His father, who never joked or played with him, but who spent infinite pains upon him, who was his only son. So you can understand from these two lines that the father was a very much serious person. He never, cracked jokes with his son. It reveals that the father was much more concerned about his life. He wanted that his son should become something great in life. So he was working so that he can earn more and more money, so that Sadao could become a great person, a better person also. And for that, he had to take so many pains also. Sadao knew that his education was his father's chief concern. So you must remember, students, like, what was the chief concern of his father? Like every father, his father's chief concern was that Sadao should attain good education, higher education also. And for this reason, he had been sent at 22 to America to learn all that he that could be learned of surgery and medicine. He had come back at 30, and before his father died, he had been seen Sadao become famous not only as a surgeon but as a scientist. Now see, as I told you, that Dr. Sadao's father's chief concern was that he should become, he should have good education. So in order to provide his son better education, now Dr. Sadao, he was sent to America. So this is something, like, for example, these Japanese, they had so much of enmity against Americans, but they knew deep inside their heart that in America, they provide the very good education. So if Dr. Sadao would be sent to America, he would become a very good doctor. So when he was 22 years of age, he was sent to America, and he returned back to his own country after completing his education at the age of 30. That means he spent 8 years in America and he learned everything. And when he returned after that, he became a very good doctor. He became a good surgeon. Surgeon means a person who does surgeries, operation. So he became a good surgeon also. And he was a scientist also. Later on, he did the discovery that we'll study also in this lesson. So he became a scientist also. Now, because he was perfecting a discovery which would render wounds entirely clean, he had not been sent abroad with the troops. Now, this is a very important line, and this is the, you can say the base of this lesson. So underline this line, because he was perfecting a discovery. So that is why he was not sent with the troops. Now, what is the meaning? Like, as you know, during the time of the wars, not only the soldiers, they are supposed to fight with the opposite side. Along with that, a team of cooks, a team of doctors and nurses, all these people, they are also supposed to go with the soldiers, because soldiers has to be given proper food, they are to be given proper diet. So that is why the cooks are to be there. And obviously they are injured also, they are hurt also during the time of the war. So the doctors and nurses are also supposed to be there with them to provide them first aid, or if any major problem is there, then that in that condition they are supposed to treat. But even then, in such a condition, when the soldiers were sent to the war front, at that time Dr. Sada was kept in Japan. He was not sent to abroad along with the troops, along with the troop of soldiers. Why so? Because at that time he was doing the discovery that he was searching for a medicine that would make the wounds entirely clean. For example, sometimes it happens like we are injured, we have some wound also, and we are applying the ointments also, but still the mark remains. So Dr. Sada was perfecting that he should find out such a medicine that would make that particular place quite clean. The mark of the wound should not be there. So for that he was doing the discovery, and for that reason he was kept in Japan. Also, he knew that there was some slight danger that the old general might need an operation for a condition for which he was now being treated medically. Underline the second line also. He knew that there was some slight danger that the old general might need an operation for a condition for which he was now being treated medically. So there could be, there is a question also that will come in 2 marks, like why Dr. Sada was not sent along with the troops. There are two reasons. First reason I told you, as he was perfecting upon the discovery, fine, that would make the wounds entirely clean. This is the first. Second reason is, like in Japan, there was a general, and we'll study more about this general. So this general, he was also suffering from the problem. He had suffered 2-3 attacks also, heart attacks also, and he was having some problems also. So he was dependent only on Dr. Sada, right? So like he was aware that if he would have any attack, he would suffer from any problem, then Dr. Sada is the only doctor who would treat him well. So Dr. Sada was not sent because this general was a selfish person. He wanted his own safety. He wanted that nothing should went wrong with him. So for his personal treatment, he kept Dr. Sada in Japan. So these are the two very important reasons. And for this possibility, Sada was being kept in Japan. Clouds were rising now from the ocean now. The unexpected warmth of the past few days that had at night drawn heavy fog from the cold waves. Sada watched mist hide outlines of a little island near the shore, and then came creeping up the beach below the house. Wreathing around the pines, in a few minutes, a fog would be wrapped about the house too, and then he would go into the room where Hannah, his wife, would be waiting for him with his 2 children. So now see what happened. This is the description that I told you, that is was of the past. Now in the present, what is the situation? In the present, Dr. Sadao, he was in his house. He was a happily married person, and the name of his wife is Hannah. Hannah is also a Japanese person, fine, not from America or any other country. At this present moment, Dr. Sadao, he was standing in the balcony of his house, and he was observing the sea beach in front of his house. The waves were rising and it was very cold also. He was able to see the mist. Mist means the flakes of ice. The ice that was falling from the above, that is the sky, and ice flakes were there. So mist was also there, fine. And so that is what is making, and he was sure that this mist or the fog, it will wrap the house also completely. So now he was waiting for that, wrapped about the house, and then he would go into the room where Hannah, his wife, would be waiting along with his two children. In his family, his wife Hannah is there, and along with that, he had two children also. He was a happily married person. But at this moment, the door opened and she looked out, and a dark blue woolen howdy over her kimono. So now at this moment, the door opened and she looked out. So who is she here? She is Hannah. Fine. Hannah, the wife of Dr. Sadao. So Dr. Sadao, he was standing, and then he was joined by his wife Hannah. She was wearing a large woolen howdy. Now howdy is what? Howdy, this explanation is also given, a loose outer garment worn over the kimono. Like these Japanese, you may have seen also in many of the movies also, Japanese dress. And there's a very famous song also. I don't know, you people have seen, you must not have, you have not born also at that time. There was a song, Sayonara, Sayonara. There is a song in which song that the actress is wearing this same dress, Japanese dress, fine. So there is a kimono, a long garment is there, a gown, just like a gown, and over that this howdy is worn, and there is a belt also. And such a kind of dress, you know, quite similar, little bit similar kind of a dress is worn by our Kashmiris also, you know. They also wear a dress that is made of a long gown with belt, and that is made of a thick stuff, fine. So that protects them from the cold. So she came and joined Dr. Sadao. Now she came to him affectionately and put her arm through him as he stood, smiled and said nothing. Now she joined, and she lovingly put her arms around her husband. And he had met Hannah in America, but he had waited to fall in love with her until he was sure that she was Japanese. Now see, he's such a good boy. He followed, he wanted that his any action must not hurt his father, especially, you know, father had done so much for him, so that is why he did not want that anything should hurt his father. So when he was in America, as I told you, he was in America and he was studying over there, completing his education. So there he met with Hannah, fine. So like he did not fall in love. Like this is also a very good condition that is written here. Like before falling in love with this girl, though he liked this girl, but before falling in love with this girl, he made sure that this girl is Japanese. You know, before that, he is not going to fall in love with this person. Why? So because he was aware that his father would not accept any other girl. If the girl is American, then the father would not be satisfied, be happy, and he would not give his consent also for their marriage. So he's such a good boy. He, you know, wanted his father's blessings also for his marriage. Fine. So that is why he waited. And later on, he came to know that this girl was Japanese. His father would never have received her unless she had been pure in her race. Got the line? Got the meaning? That he was sure that the father would not accept it. If she was pure in her race, means if she was Japanese, then in that condition, the father would accept. If she was an American, then the father would not give his blessings. And so he wondered often whom he would have married if he had not met Hannah. And by what luck he had found her in the most casual way by chance literally at an American professor's house. And you know, such things like falling in love and such things happen by chance only. You know, you meet a person by chance, and it depends on the person whether we like the person or whether we hate the person. And you know, our body emits the waves, you know, like an aura is there. For some people we have positive feelings. When some people, when we see some people, we feel so very happy, like yeah, and we have good feelings or for such souls. Why so? Because of the energy that the body is emitting, you know. So in the same manner, the same thing was there. So Dr. Sadao, he was thinking like, if he would not have married Hannah in America, then who would have married with him? Because Hannah is also a very you know, good lady, had a beautiful soul. So he was thanking God also for letting him meet with Hannah in America. So the professor and his wife had been kind people, anxious to do something for their few foreign students, and the students, the board, had accepted this kindness. Now, who is the professor? The professor is the person, he was in America, and during the time of his stay in America, when he was studying, you know, medicine, at that time, Dr. Sadao, he was taking his tuitions at this professor's house, right? And at this professor's house, when he used to go for the coachings or the tuitions, there he met with Hannah by chance. So now the professor and his wife, they were kind people. Why it is mentioned kind people? As I have told you, given enough explanation in the beginning also, that Japanese, they hated Americans, right? But this American professor and his wife, they had, you know, they were kind to few foreign students. Now, for this American professor and his wife, for them, obviously, the students coming from India, students coming from Japan or any other country, obviously, they are the foreigners. They were kind to them. Why? Because they were getting good money. They were bothered about the money. Rest, they are not concerned. So that is why they had to be kind. They were pretending. And the students, though board, had accepted this kindness, but students, those who were studying at this place, they accepted the kindness of this professor. Now Sadao had often told Hannah how nearly he had not gone to Professor Harley's house that night. The rooms were so small, the food so bad, the professor's wife was so voluble, but he had gone, and there he had found Hannah, a new student, and had felt he would love her if it were or at all possible. You know, how can we plan? You know, our mind is so strong. We plan the things like we'll do this, we'll do that. So like once it so happened, like when he was thinking of going to this professor, the name of the professor is Professor Harley. So when he was thinking, so the thoughts that came into his mind is like, professor's house was very small, it was not properly clean, the rooms were very small, the food provided is also not so very good, and moreover professor's wife is so voluble. You know, voluble means very talkative, like you are getting the lessons from the professor, but after the class this professor's wife is also there giving you the lectures. She's going to deliver something nonsense and you have to bear that. So that is why it was so very boring. But even then, Dr. Sadao, he decided, because he had to study. And there one day he found Hannah. He met with Hannah and he started, you know, liking this girl. And moreover, not liking, he had developed, you know, love for this girl. So now he felt, now this was in the flashback that was coming in his mind when he was standing at the, you know, balcony of his balcony of his house, right? And he was joined by Hannah. So he was thinking like how by chance he happened to meet with Hannah. Now once again he came into the present. So now he felt her hand on his arm and was aware of the pleasure it gave him, even though they had been married years enough to have two children. Now he was thinking, obviously, like as they were standing together, and he was very happy that Hannah is so much concerned. Such a nice woman is there in his life who is concerned about him, who is bothered about him. So he was very happy and satisfied in his married life. For, as I've told you many a times in class 11th also in literature, for means because. For they had not married heedlessly in America. Now heedlessly means without paying any attention to. No. So now what is the meaning? For example, we have seen so many stories now, like this boy had eloped with that girl and they are running away. They ran away from their house and then they got married. And they are not getting the blessings of their parents. They are not getting respect also in society. So one should marry with the permission of the parents, whether that is a love marriage or arranged marriage does not matter, because now the parents also these days, the parents are also having, they are also open-minded, but you should have a right choice also. Fine, that is very, very important. And understanding does not matches, never matches. The thing is that you have to think like you should, and it is not possible also to match. We are not supposed to match. We are supposed to handle the things. We have to accept and appreciate other person's dislikes also. That is what marriage is all about. So now see, it's not like that without paying any attention, he married. All of a sudden he liked the girl and he fall in love with the girl, and immediately he went to the any temple and he had taken like whatever the culture, whatever the custom is there, and they got married. It's not like that. He was concerned about his father. So that is why he did not married, all of a sudden quickly. Oh no, the chance must not be left behind. So that is why quickly, no, it's not like that. So they had finished their work at school and had come home to Japan. And when his father had seen her, the marriage had been arranged in the old Japanese way. Although Sadao and Hana had talked everything over beforehand, they were perfectly happy and she laid her cheek against his arm. Now, see, very intelligent couple, you can say. After completing their education in America, after getting good education, they returned back to their country, that is Japan. And after seeking the blessings of the father of Dr. Sada, they got married. And now this is a happily married couple. They are enjoying their life. Now the story starts. This is what I have told you. This is a very simple thing. Now the main story starts. That is the enemy, the topic that I have told you. It was at this moment that both of them saw something black come out of the mist. It was a man. Now see, as Dr. Sadao and his wife Hannah, they were standing in the balcony of their house, and the balcony is in front of the sea beach that I have already told you. So now see, as I told you that it was very cold also, the fog and the formation of the mist was there. So like in this mist, like they were not able to see everything clear also. The picture was a little bit blurry, but even then they could see the image of a man coming out of the sea. The image of the man was seen. It was a man. He was flung up out of the ocean, flung. It seemed to his feet by a breaker. Now see, they were continuously, looking at the person, and he was trying to stand up in the ocean, and he was again and again trying, not able to walk properly, and it seemed to his feet via a breaker, and it seemed that his feet is stuck up by a breaker. Now at the seashore, what could be the breakers? Obviously the stones, fine, that you can see in the picture also. Now he staggered a few steps. He staggered. Now stagger means what? Staggered means walking unsteadily. When we are not able to walk properly, then that means walking unsteadily. Fine. So he staggered a few steps. His body outlined against the mist. His arms above his head. And then the curled mist hid him again. Now see, as this person, as I've told you that he was hit by a bullet, that you'll study in the next pages. So he was trying to stand up. You can imagine his situation, as I told you. He struggled in the sea. He was hit by the waves. He was hit by the animals, also sea animals. He was hit by these islands also, rocks also. But even then, he maintained his vigor. He maintained his strength. He had not eaten anything also from the past many days. But even then, he struggled and he reached. So that is why you can easily understand his situation, that he was overexhausted. And he was trying, and blood loss was also there because of the bullet. So he was standing but not able to walk, and again he fell down, and again he was covered by the formation of the mist, that is the fog also. Who is that? Hannah cried. Now cried does not mean in literature that the person is literally crying. Cried here means Hannah shouted very loudly, "Oh, see, who is this person? His image is seen." She dropped Sadao's arm and they both leaned over the railing of the veranda. You all have seen the railings that are there in the balconies of each and every house, railings in the front of the balcony also. So as they were standing and they were holding the railings also, so they leaned means bend forward in order to have the image, the clear picture of the, like, who the person is. So they were trying to see, and now they saw him again. Once again they saw the person. Now, the man was on his hands and knees crawling. So you can easily understand that the person was not well. So what happened? He was moving on his hands and knees, just like an infant. An infant, before he learns was walking, he walks on his hands and the knees. In the same manner, this person was also moving. He was crawling. Then they saw him fall on his face and lie there. And then this person, he was not able to walk. He was not able to even crawl also. He lied down with his face towards the earth. A fisherman, perhaps, Sadao said, washed from his boat. Now see, obviously in such a condition, these people, Dr. Sadao and his wife, they could make the assumptions like who could be this person, because they are not sure now, like who is this person. So Dr. Sadao said that at this time it could be possible that the person is a fisherman. Maybe he was he was sailing in his boat. The boat may have overturned into the sea. It could be possible that he would have drowned also, and like he was lifted by the waves and then he was brought back to the shore. So it could be possible. He ran quickly down the steps and behind him Hannah came. Hannah was such an obedient wife. She followed her husband and had great respect also for Dr. Sadao. Immediately, Dr. Sadao, he ran towards that place in order to check the person. And then Hannah also followed her husband. Her wide sleeves flying. A mile or two away on either side, there were fishing villages, but here was only the bare and the lonely coast. Now see, they knew like the shore was there. In front of the shore, their house was there. And now from this shore, miles away, there are the houses of these fishermen. The fishermen, they live a little far away from this place. So like what is to be done? Like who could be this person? But here was only the bare and the lonely coast. This is the lonely place. So who could be this person? And dangerous with rocks. The surf. Surf means the foam. The foam that is formed after the striking of the waves. When the waves strike with each other again and again, then there happens to be the formation of the foam. So that is surf. The surf beyond the beach was spiked with rocks. Spike, like right now it's not in fashion, but like I would say 2-3 years before, spikes was in fashion. This was in hairstyle. The spikes were made, by the boys especially. The spikes were there on the head, and it was like the Crude Singh style, I would say. Crude Singh is a character in the serial Chandrakanta, So it was quite similar to that. So spiked here it means covered. Now this foam covered the rocks also, because the rocks were also stricken by the waves. And somehow the man had managed to come through them. He must be badly torn. Now Sada was easily able to understand the condition of this person, that this person was hit by the waves, by the foam, by the rocks also. So obviously the person is badly torn, means overexhausted. He was tired. That is why he was not able to walk properly. They saw when they came towards him that indeed it was so. The sand on one side of him had already a stain of red soaking through. That reason I told you that he was hit by the bullet, now it will be exposed in this line. See, when they came to this person, they could see, they checked the person. And as a doctor, he was on his feet in order to check the person, because now the person is his patient. He was not aware that the person is the enemy. So now sand on one side of him, as the person was lying on the beach, and you can easily imagine, like on the beach, what is there? The sand is there, right? The water is there, but when we cross that water also, after that the person was lying, so there near to the person, the sand was there. And the sand, the color of the sand was red. because it had soaked the blood of this person, the blood that is coming from the this bullet shot to him. So because of that, because of this blood, the sand was in red in color, the stain of red was there. He is wounded, Sadao exclaimed. Sadao shouted that the person is badly wounded. The cut is there, something or the other problem is there in his body. That is why this red stain is there. He made haste to the man and who lay motionless, his face in the sand. He made haste. Haste means very quickly. He checked the person. So he made haste to the man who lay motionless. The person was not making any movement. Not possible also because he was badly tortured, badly torn also. And an old cap was stuck to his head, soaked with the seawater. He was in wet rags of garments. Now, this person, American prisoner of war, he was wearing a cap also that was still on his head. It was, tightly packed on his head, and he was wearing wet rags of garments. Rags means worn out clothes, torn clothes means not good clothes he was wearing. Sadao stood, Hana at his side, and turned the man's head. They saw the face. And now, Dr. Sadao, he turned the man's head because, as I told you, the man's face was towards the earth. So he turned the person in order to see the face of the person. And now they saw the face, and now here is the surprise and the shock. A white man, Hannah whispered. Hannah surprised. Hannah said that this is the white man. Means the person is an American, an enemy. Yes, it was a white man. The wet cap fell away, and there was his wet yellow hair. Golden hair of this person was seen. All of a sudden, when the person was turned, his, the cap, it fell away from his head. And long as though for many weeks it had not been cut, and upon his young and tortured face was a rough yellow beard also. Now they could see the complete face of this person. He was having golden hair. The cap was removed, and he was having long hairs. It means that he was not able to have a proper haircut also. Like, for example, like many of the boys you can see these days having long hair because of the corona. Because of that, like the barbers shops are not open in the earlier, but now they are open. But still, for the safety measures also, many children, especially the boys, they are not going to the salons also. They are not having the haircut, they are having very long hair. So I have seen, so that is why I'm sharing with you people. So this person, he was also having long hairs also. He was having the beard also. And now Sadao, all of a sudden, he stopped. He was unconscious and knew nothing that they did for him. Sadao was checking the person, and this person, American prisoner, he was not aware like what is happening with him. Now Sadao, okay, fine, I have crossed my time limit. Your class is till 9:35.